Jeff Dunham is a comedian who works with others, but not in a typical way. He doesn't use people in his routine, he uses dolls. Jeff Dunham uses many dolls in his repertoire for comedic purposes and has become quite successful and well known over the years as a comedian and ventriloquist. In his special, Arging with Myself, he uses 5 of his dolls to make fun of and comment on many topics. The most interesting and best quality Jeff Dunham has in his performance is his ability to connect and talk to the audience. In the special, there are many times Jeff Dunham interacts with members of the audience, showing his ability to react accordingly to what the audience members say. Through the personality of the dolls and through interacting with the audience, he makes his performance unique and memorable with some controversial moments. But Jeff Dunham uses ventriloquism in his comedy. There are instances when he performs stand-up alone before a show. This happened at the beginning of his special, Arging with Myself. Jeff Dunham makes his stand-up very personal as he begins to explain why he is happy to be in Santa Ana with the story of his mother-in-law moving in with his all-female family. This story can be relatable to audience for those who have in-laws and have trouble dealing with them. It can also relate to those who have to take in an extra person and the hassles that come with that. With the bits about his family done, Dunham's last bit relates even more to the audience as he tells a story about his trip to the nearby airport in Santa Ana, which would later be referred to in other bits as the special goes on. Throughout all of his stand-up, Jeff Dunham is very expressive with his facial expressions that tell many things. Along with his facial expressions, his tone of voice is a key feature to his comedy as he expresses many emotions with a change of his tone. The first puppet to come on stage with Jeff Dunham is the cranky old puppet Walter. Immediately, the audience can tell what to expect as the first words out of his mouth are "shut the hell up" from the simple act of clapping. And just like Dunham did in his stand-up, Walter mentions the city of Santa Ana, again making it relatable to the audience as he told the audience he debated on staying in Hawaii or going to Santa Ana. My God, I can die happy now. Not only can the audience relate to this for being in Santa Ana, but by also relating to the other part of the joke, having to decide between work and vacation, with work ultimately winning. The last line in the joke shows the puppet's personality as he sarcastically exclaims to the audience he can die happy now for choosing Santa Ana over Hawaii. Jeff Dunham does a great job with this material in relating it not only to an audience, but a specific audience as he has jokes the audience from the city he is performing in can connect to. Next up is Sweet Daddy, a black puppet with a flashy pink and lime green suit who comes out as Jeff Dunham's manager. This puppet embodies the characteristics of a playa. He embodies the characteristics through his appearance, but mainly through the way he speaks. For instance, he says, "Dog, you're not white, you're neon white," when trying to talk with Jeff with gangster talk. He also goes on to point out the type of people who come to watch Jeff Dunham as he asks, "Is there one other brother in the house tonight?" The camera then pans over to show the one black audience member. The next puppet is Bubba J, a southern hillbilly wearing jeans, a green USA shirt with his belly showing, and a ball cap. Embodies another stereotype also through his clothes and words. He exclaims, "I've been watching NASCAR and drinking beer." Jeff comments, "That's your favorite sport," to which Bubba J responds, "Yeah, NASCAR too." Sweet Daddy and Bubba J are unique for being the only ones to completely embody a stereotype. Bubba J continues to have some appearances in Jeff Dunham's performances, but Sweet Daddy has been one of a few puppets to be retired for being offensive. The most offensive puppet in Jeff Dunham's repertoire may be his next and last puppet, Peanut, a purple and yellow creature with a tuft of green hair on his head and one shoe on his foot. Like Walter, Peanut has a bit that relates to the city of Santa Ana by mispronouncing it and claiming it to be hell as he attempts to remember what city they are in. Jeff Dunham tends to help Peanut remember by having him remember how they got to the stage. Jeff Dunham says, "The drive from the valley," to which Peanut says, "Was bad as hell." Jeff then asks about the traffic, the drivers, and parking, to which Peanut replied to all, "Sucked like hell, angry as hell, sucked more like hell," making him claim, "We're in hell, and these are our hellmates," as he points to the audience. The main way Peanut can be seen as offensive is through his pairing with another one of Jeff Dunham's puppets, Jose Jalapeno on the Stick, who needs no description. Peanut is constantly finding ways to make fun of the Mexican jalapeno. This is done through imitating the way Jose Jalapeno talks and treating him poorly. When Jeff Dunham proceeds to put Jose away, Peanut thinks he will be dropped and saying, "Do little tap dance, we got salsa," making Jeff exclaim, "That's terrible," to which Peanut confidently replies, "Not with the right kind of chip, it's not." Many times throughout Peanut's performance, Jeff Dunham criticizes Peanut for what he says, knowing that what Peanut says is offensive. At least Jeff Dunham can get out of trouble by putting the blame on the puppets when he is ever criticized for his performance. Jeff Dunham has been well perceived for being controversial at times. He became well known when many people had seen the special in 2006, along with many others that would come out. By that time, he brought home $30 million, making him the third highest earning comedian in America behind Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock, according to Forbes magazine. With the amount of shows he performs, the selling of his DVDs, and being signed onto a deal with Comedy Central, he had an ever-growing pile of cash, according to Go. He pushed political, social, and racial boundaries through his dummies that he created by himself, according to Go. When he went on a global all-over the map tour, which included 5 continents and 12 countries, he was even scared himself about using his puppet Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, saying, "Here I was performing in a Muslim country, and frankly, I was scared. I'd assumed the place would be full of ex-patriots and military folks wanting to see an English-speaking show, but it turned out to be mainly locals, mainly dressed in full traditional outfits," according to Blair. So though he was scared, the reception he received was just like any other performance, especially when he brought out Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. This doll was banned in Malaysia and not even allowed to come on stage, along with Jeff Dunham being prohibited from even mentioning his name or making any sort of religious references, according to Blair. These kinds of reactions go to show how controversial his material and characters can be, especially on a global scale. Through the use of dolls with particular personalities, Jeff Dunham is able to make his performance memorable. He has many puppets in his repertoire with varying personalities, giving him chances to comment on many topics from different points of views. The most unique part about Jeff Dunham's performance is his ability to connect to the audience, not just by saying a single line when something happens with the audience, but by turning it into a long bit. Through this connectivity, Jeff Dunham is able to create a special bond, creating a unique and memorable performance.